What is up, everybody? I'm Mitch.
And I'm Dustin, and you're tuned in to the Fatmen Podcast. Welcome, everybody.
So today we want to start off the podcast with our veteran highlight, and we'd like to congratulate Sergeant Sweat, Sergeant Velez, and Sergeant Leach for their new promotion to Sergeant, and we appreciate everything that you've done, so hats off to you.
Right on.
So we have a very special guest today. He's the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Retired Sergeant First Class Danforth, Anthony Danforth.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you guys. Before we start, hey, is it okay for me to use first names, last names? Because I remember
whatever the hell you feel like.
Bird, Carpenter, Dustin, Mitch.
You can do
whatever the hell feels right.
I'll try to use first names, and it's going to be a bit hard, but yeah.
I'm probably going to call you Danforth.
I will call you Danforth through this entire thing. So if you feel like calling me Carpenter, feel free.
I might even slip a sergeant in there because that's how I've always known you. So bear with me. But he was my platoon sergeant, and we have so many great memories together. And I'd like you to start us off by giving us a little introduction about you.
Well, hey, you guys. It's a pleasure being on the podcast. My name's Sergeant First Class Anthony Danforth. I guess I was at one point in time at least either a squad leader or a platoon sergeant for these amazing men over here.
Yeah, and when did you retire? You just recently retired?
Oh, it was actually about 2 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't seem. It's crazy how time flies over the years.
What year did you get out?
I'm sorry?
What year did you retire?
Oh, 2023. Yeah.
Fuck. Man.
Yeah. So
10 years after me.
You want to hear some? You want to hear some tea from the 438th?
Oh, okay. Tell me.
We're getting disbanded.
I heard rumors, but that was also like as I was retiring.
Yep, September 2026. We're going to Florida.
Are you going to Florida?
No. The unit is going to Florida, and we're all getting dispersed through the state. So I was disappointed because I only have 3 more years that I can retire, and I was planning on retiring from my home. So
they're all getting a bunch of new stepdaddies now.
Oh man, I mean, at least with my 20 years in that unit specifically, I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, we had a really good unit, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Not always.
I agree.
Not always.
Well, up until the point to where I got out, because I heard a lot of stories after I got out of the unit.
There was a lot of stories when you got out, and I don't think our unit recovered still from that.
Yeah.
So
I got out at a good time, I guess.
Yeah.
So those years have passed, and there's no repercussions for spilling any tea, or as the kids would say.
I would just say, right when you got out, I still remember coming in to drill.
Mm-hmm.
Thought everything was normal. Come in, talk to our adminitio at the time, and he said, Danforth, you're acting first run right now. I'm like, whoa, what happened? It's like long story short. All senior leadership star. What? So it was a hell of a time.
Yeah, well, they couldn't have picked a better stand-up motherfucker to do it. So.
I want to
feel that one under the table, do you?
I'm surprised they didn't go with him. I have no idea what happened.
So you want to know something funny about this guy, how I met him? I'm sure maybe how you met him, how he met a lot of people.
Hey, chicken.
Oh God, I'm kind of regretting what he's gonna say.
Whenever I first came into the unit, do you remember me being such a quiet guy? Like I was so quiet and shy.
Yes, unless you have a guitar,
then
we couldn't get you to shut up.
But I was so nervous. It was my first AT, and I'm taking a shower and washing my face, and all of a sudden, I feel 4 hands on my naked back. Right after I heard the shower draw, and I wash my face off, and it's Danforth and Cornwell, and they're just washing me, and they're saying, "Sorry, we love to wash our privates." That's how I. That's no.
That sounds exactly like Danforth.
No, nice to meet you. Just this is
it was a great icebreaker, got to know you more intimately. If you had any problems with the unit, it's a great time to kind of air out your grievances.
I will say that was the most intimate introduction I've ever had in my life.
And I probably have done worse with others, so you got lucky.
I remember Seaton. You tried to get Seaton, and he was like, "No."
He had a rule. If I touched him, I owed him a Red Bull.
Yeah.
I owed him a lot of Red Bulls.
Dude was hyper as fuck.
So do you have any, from your time in the military, in the 438th or in the military, do you have any of your favorite memories?
Oh man, there's a lot. I
We
think
got all night.
my favorite time, and I know it's kind of might be a little bit weird, but after being in my prior unit, which would be 2nd 150th Field Artillery, I did that for like 6 years. Coming into this unit, I thought, hey, I'm actually in a unit with my MOS. This is gonna be awesome. I come in, and I guess I was the hottest thing since sliced bread. I got promoted to E6 like almost immediately. I was like an E5 at my prior unit for like 4 or 5 years almost. It's kind of crazy. I think I really enjoyed when we picked up the SFC mission, because after years of driving in, deuce and a half, 5 tons, cut Vs, Humvees, all of a sudden now we got these brand new civilian Chevy 3500s or Ford F450s. I'm like, oh my back.
Do you miss the bids trucks?
Sometimes it's like the only military vehicle I know where you get a cold weather injury in the middle of summer.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
those bid truck.
They were nice in the wintertime though.
They're shit now.
Are they?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Because they were in dry storage for
anything that's in the military for more than 5 years turns to shit.
At some point
Including
in
the
time, I
people.
was probably signed for all the equipment on the 438th at some point, because everybody's constantly going back and forth and we're like, hey, we need to sign for these. They're yours now. I'm like, that's really expensive. I don't know. They break a lot and catch fire.
Yeah. They tried to get me to be the NBC NCO whenever I got promoted to E5, and I was like, fuck you. Nope.
But so when we went to, we're the Fat Man Project, and we love to talk about fitness and all everything alike. And one thing that I remember with you is whenever we went to Slovakia, we had the strongman competition. Could you tell us a little bit about that whole entire thing and how you did?
Well, at first they kind of dropped it on us like last minute. Nobody knew we were going to do some kind of competition, but the Slovaks did. People from Poland knew. I forget, what was the other third country? Wasn't it?
Well, we had active duty army there too.
Oh yeah, active duty and us.
Yeah, and we
National
smoked
Guard
active duty.
So yeah, we found out that we're going to be doing a tough muscle competition, and I think they're I think it was like their lieutenant colonel or their sergeant major at the time kind of came up with the rules willy-nilly, especially the last one. I think it was half your body weight, and the exercises, or I guess the events were bench press, deadlift, overhead arm hang, and then it was supposed to be, I believe, a small car you push up a hill in the middle of I forget, what was it, Camp Lesh?
Oh yeah,
And this thing is like Eastern European tiny compact car up a hill. There had to be some kind of like safety brief that they had to have given people before that, but I don't think we even got to that point.
Well, another thing is we were the only country that is not allowed to juice either. Like all the Slovaks were allowed, and they'd be these big, massive guys, and they'd be like, "Hey guys, I just want to tell you."
I don't know if you remember Sergeant Hopper or not.
Yeah,
but
I remember Sergeant Hopper.
And I'm going to be a little bit vulgar, but I remember we were in the shower at the time, right? And we're sitting there, lathering up. And I don't know if you remember the showers. They called them the gas chambers, because it's just a giant open bay of just showers. Eastern Europeans, they don't care, whatever. And we're just sitting there like, man, look at all these guys, man. Like, you can tell, man, little boy, man, little boy. And all the little boys were like U.S. soldiers,
Yeah.
So it was like, oh man, they're definitely on something.
So one funny thing, like he kind of touched on, they are not modest at all in that country. And
go ahead, sorry.
When we train here, like we do the Surf B mission, there's a part of the decon lines that you cut the clothes off, but usually like we have like our PTs underneath it, and it's simulated training. Mm-hmm. The Slovaks and the Czechs are not
all
like
off.
that. Yeah, it's like they train like they fight for real. Well, we weren't expecting that, and I remember I was the first one up in the line. They didn't separate it by male and female either. And I was first one in line. I was like, I'll just get this shit over with. It's the middle of winter too. Like we have 3 inches of snow on the ground there in Slovakia. And so it's my time to come through. And they're like, you take your clothes off. It was like, and so like, I'm like slowly like taking my shirt off, and I'm looking back, waiting for them to be like, just fucking with you. But I feel like I take my shirt off and I take my shorts off and like I'm butt ass naked and they just come up and rip the clothes out of my hands and throw it out the tent. I was like, oh, they're fucking serious. And the whole unit, like half the unit's behind me and the other half is still waiting outside the tent. And so we make it through, and they have a cold ash fucking shower too, which
better in the winter.
which I like willy-nilly around it. I was like, I'm not doing that. And I get all the way up.
My dick would have been inside me at that point.
Well, I got all the way up to the front, and I'm like waiting for my clothes, and all of a sudden the front of the tent just flew open, and there's the 438. They seen me in all of God's glory, and yeah, it was a cold day, and I'll just say it was very apparent. Do you remember?
I remember. I think they even tried to use scissors on some of our female soldiers, and some NCOs had to step in like, no, we're not doing any of that.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of naked people just standing around in the tent, and like I said, they didn't separate us or anything like that. So like the guys were facing one way, the girls were facing the other. We were like, let's. And then the next time we went there,
I can think of a lot of people that I would not want to be next to in that situation.
The next time we went back to Slovakia, they were like, "You take your clothes off." I was like, motherfucker, you got me once, you won't get me again."
Do it again. That's funny.
So what is something that you
well, before we get into that, I want to know, because we were touching on this earlier, and I told you to save it for the podcast.
Okay.
You were talking about the bench press. You said you smoked everybody on the bench press.
Yes. Okay. So I was very surprised. So the first, I could say not competition. The first set that they were supposed to do was basically the bench press.
Okay.
It was supposed to be half your body weight, as many repetitions as you possibly can.
Right.
Like, well, yeah, hey, I volunteered for this team. Let's knock this shit out. It'd be amazing. I've been doing weight training most of my life.
Right.
But I trained a little bit different than most people. I won't throw on heavy weights. I will usually go as many repetitions as I possibly can, and I'll just do something kind of comfortable. So at that time, half the body weight was actually less than what I'm usually used to. So before I hopped on, we'd have people from Slovakia, and you could tell they were like popping these pre-workouts and stuff. I'm like looking at the side, I'm like, you can't do this in the FDA. No, I think this is steroids. No, okay. And these guys are just massive guys, but half their body weight is like 200 pounds.
Yeah, they're huge.
These guys are massive, and they're knocking them out. They're doing like 20. And there's still quite a bit of reps. Knocking out 200 pounds and stuff, 20 reps.
Right.
I get on, right? I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to adjust. I'm going to go as wide as I possibly can. Because, you're doing bench press as wide as you can. You're going to be working out those outer muscles. That's how you get on a triangle shape. I've been kind of working on that. So I'm sitting there, I'm knocking them out. Half my body weight, that's nothing. That's like 20 pounds less than I usually normally do. And I ended up winning the bench press competition. I think it was like 93 reps.
So what were you weighing at that point?
Oh, I can't even hear you.
Can you hear us?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Bueller?
Oh, can you hear me?
Bueller?
We can hear you.
Okay, there we go. I think as I was moving around, I knocked this shit out.
Okay.
What were you saying?
What was your body weight at that point?
190, 192.
Okay.
Hell
wasn't too bad.
Hell yeah, that's good shit.
Yeah, I remember it because like it's hard to judge body composition with those uniforms on, and so like I remember I was thinking, man, Danforth, he's a ripped son of a bitch. Like that was like because most of the time I just see you in your uniform and you can't see what's that.
That little physical fitness pack right there.
Oh yeah.
That I thought trying to get me to wear that I never wore.
I thought you were pointing to the jugs in the back. I was like, is that moonshine?
That would be my Viking beer, my mead.
Hell yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'll have to do my recipes.
Yes, say what it means.
I have a question. First, what was your workout routine prior to getting out, and has it changed since you've retired?
For the most part, it's actually kind of stayed the same. I kind of started. I don't know if you want me to kind of go into this whole beginning thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
the deeper the better.
It actually started a long time ago when I was in high school. When I was like a sophomore in high school, going into being a senior. I'm sorry, junior to senior. I really didn't do anything. I wasn't very athletic. I tried sports back in the day, and it wasn't fun for me, so I stopped. But there came a point where I saw my mother and my sister, Mickey and Barbara Danforth, they started to run a lot. My sister, she ran junior Olympics in cross country and track. And I was kind of like, oh, fuck, my sister's getting healthy. I don't like this. I don't want my sister pushing me around. And then my mom started doing it. She started running, mini marathons and trained. She did a few marathons. And like, man, okay, my mom and my sister are getting healthier than me. I don't like this.
You got to step your game up.
Yeah, I had to step my game up. So I was like, I talked to my mother. I'm like, hey, I want to join the Army. I signed up, I think back then it was like 2000. And I was like, you know what? I need to get healthy. So she put me through the ringer, and I trained to do a mini marathon in 3 months. And from that point forward, it was, run, cardio. And then I started doing, weightlifting. I wasn't, good, but I wanted to try to get something. But then once basic training came, I had a drill sergeant that decided he wanted to wear us as puppets.
Yeah.
With his fist. And anytime we went in a building or out of a building, we started off with doing 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups. But every week, or actually, I think it was like every day, it increased by 10. So by the time we were getting out of basic training, going in and out of buildings, it was easily like 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 200 push-ups, 200 sit-ups, and by doing it consistently, you just kept getting faster and stronger and stronger. And when I got out of basic training, it was pretty good.
Hell yeah.
And then after that, it was just, every day. I wanted to stay healthy. I kind of felt like, I kind of felt bad if I missed a day. I kind of felt kind of crappy. So my exercises kind of stayed consistent until I got married. I don't know if you gentlemen kind of know how that happens. You get married and kind of fall off.
Oh yeah.
You get comfortable.
Yeah, and
Happy weight.
I'm not married anymore, but I used to be. I understand.
Well, you're married to me in the gym.
This is my gym wife, right?
That's right.
Good.
Yeah, we're a cute couple.
But then after that, it just stayed consistent. I do cardio almost every other day, and I weightlift in between those, and I take Saturday, Sundays off, and it almost becomes like a routine that if I miss anything, I just feel shitty.
Right.
One thing that's like changed for us is so I don't know. Well, I know you remember Fat Mitch. Yeah, you remember.
Everybody remembers
I remember
Fat
Mitch.
Mitch.
You can do better. Let's do this, man. I want to see improvement on that next PT test.
Yeah, you remember it well. But since I've lost the 55 pounds, and I feel a hell of a lot better. And but just having somebody like Carpenter there and reinforcing that it's a non-negotiable. Like now, when we miss, we get shitty about it. Like it's something that's just as important as sleep or going to work or whatever like that. And so it's definitely changed my outlook on a lot of things, and I feel a lot better ever since. But
oh yeah,
for you, how old are you? 43?
42.
Jeez, old man.
Oh man, you get old. No, I'm just joking.
I'm the same age.
But so how have you noticed, so obviously our bodies are changing as we get older.
Oh, I ache.
So what's been your biggest obstacle as far as the gym goes?
Honestly, it's almost I have to kind of trick myself sometimes to do weight training. For me, because cardio was like the thing.
Yeah.
It's so much easier. I think I'm just going to go run 2 miles, and then I'm not going to weight lift. I'm good. I ran 2 miles. I'm good. Which kind of sounds weird because cardio is usually that one thing everybody doesn't want to do.
I was going to say, that's like the total opposite. I feel like people that have that mindset are fucking demented.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know me. I'm pretty crazy.
I believe the people that love to run are psychopaths. So that's just my opinion. It's never been my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some opinions sometimes that, I can be kind of mean and rough. I've tried to train a few people, and they don't like it, whenever I punish them, because I don't know if you remember, I'm going to say last names, no first names, but do you ever remember a person named, or a private by the name of Rostron?
That sounds really familiar.
That does sound familiar.
Okay, well, without dragging his name through the mud too much, let's just say I had counseling statements pre-filled out in my bag, and AWOL contact sheets, but I remember...
Cut out the middle, man.
Yeah, I remember him coming into drill one day, and he wasn't shaved. He didn't have a haircut. And first round, hey, what's going on with your guy over here? And I think at that time, it was Rather. He talked to him. No, wait, sorry, Ornwell. So
okay.
I'll talk to him and everything. I found out that he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have money for a haircut." And it's like, "Oh, okay, don't worry, we'll take care of you. Don't worry." So we had a guy with some clippers. We cut his hair.
Too easy.
Saturday's done. Sunday, come in for first formation. Guess what?
Not there.
Shit fucking drunk.
Oh, okay.
Oh, even better.
First sergeant was angry. So, you don't have money for a haircut, but you have money to go get your ass drunk. Danforth, take care of him. I'm like, okay.
Smoke sessions.
Well, guess what I have to do on Sunday sometimes? PT tests, right?
Yep.
I'm the one in charge of PT tests. And okay, we're just going out to the field. Ross, come on. You're coming with me. Run. Don't stop until I'm done. I don't want you to stop until I'm tired. I think the guy ran like about 7 miles.
Oh man.
By the time everybody got through. Because
please tell me he puked just at least twice. Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah, he didn't like me.
Yep.
So that was almost like my main thing. And you guys can attest. It's very hard to get me angry.
Oh yeah, I
don't think I've ever seen you angry.
I've never actually seen
in the how many years? 12 years I've known you.
Yeah,
13 years, whatever.
Times people have
never
pushed
seen
my
mad.
buttons, when we have to wake up at 2 in the morning because people coming back from the All Ranks Club shit-faced and where's all your guys? I think there's been a few times where I've kind of lost it, but usually if I lose it, I'm going to take it out of you by paperwork, and I'm going to fucking smoke your ass. And he was just one of those guys where it's like, I'm tired of doing paperwork. So guess what? You're running.
No, some people they either don't learn or they learn the hard way.
Hearing that story reminds me of the time that we all went to when we were at the Air Force, when we were hanging out with the Air Force there at Holman Field, and we all went to the NCO club. Or no, was it there or was I don't remember. Maybe when we all went to the NCO club, and everybody got shit faced fucking drunk.
Yeah, I took
may have been somewhere else,
and in a private Mercedes, and he juked all over the side.
Well, not just that, but we all went to the NCO club, and all the higher ups told everybody, have the time of your life. You're off tomorrow. Tomorrow's a free day. Drink what you want. Just don't get in trouble. Don't get arrested. So we were like, all right, fuck it. So everybody went out and just got shit-faced everybody got shit-faced drunk. And I remember we got woke up.
Yeah, like 4:30 in the morning.
I ended up falling asleep. Yeah, I ended up falling asleep at like 0200. And they ended up waking us up at like fucking 4:30 in the morning. And they were like, hey, surprise PT. Everybody get your fucking asses out here. We're running.
And I remember they set up cones, and all we did was we ran around those cones, and then we did just all kinds of calisthenics.
I just remember running around the fucking track. And I remember because I was stuck behind everybody because I was running slow as shit because I was hungover as fuck too. And the smell of that fucking track from everybody out there bleeding out all that fucking alcohol, and so many people were falling over and puking and shit. It was fucking horrible. The whole 90% of the unit was just fucking puking their ass off.
Oh yeah.
The Air Force didn't like me at all. I mean, I know in order to try to raise funds, like FRG funds at the time, because we were kind of short, I thought, well, everybody's drinking fucking Monsters. I'm going to go to Walmart. I'm going to get a whole bunch of Monsters, some for like $2. At that time, Monsters like $1.50, you know? And by the time just that one day of drill was done, I probably had like $200 for the FRG. But guess what the Air Force was doing with us? They were getting our vitals. Everybody failing because their heart rates were fucking through the roof from all the damn Monsters. Oh, they didn't like me.
I remember when we had to do that Surf P stuff, and they would always check our vitals before we'd get in our hazmat suits every morning. And there was this, I'm not going to throw out any names, but mind you, this is years ago before I was married to my current wife.
It never changed. But you're good.
There was this Air Force lieutenant, and God, she was gorgeous. Air Force has all the hot chicks, but this chick was just amazingly hot.
I think we all know who it was.
Probably
saying.
And she was the one that took my vitals every morning, every time. And I would always see her, and I'd be like, "Fuck, dude, she's so hot." And then she'd get up close to me and start touching on me, and my heart rate would go up. And she'd be like, "Your heart rate's elevated." I'd be like, "Yeah, I had coffee this morning." She'd be like, "Go ahead, go." Yeah, she'd be like, "Go over there and sit down." Well, she was married, so I didn't want to say anything to her, but. She was like, go ahead and go over there and sit down and wait about 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll check your heart rate again. And the whole time I'm over there, I'm like thinking, oh, grandma, like to try to get my heart rate to drop.
I got a story of that one person from the Air Force, because I think at that time I wasn't running the Surf P. I was actually just the tech decon in COIC.
Right, yeah.
And I don't know, were you were in tech decon at the time? I forget.
No, I was in non-ambulatory.
No? Okay, that's right. But I remember as they were coming from over the line, they have to get out their suits, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of tech decon soldiers waiting and trying to help her out of her suit. And there was, I'm not going to say the name of a soldier because I don't.
So you know who I'm talking about. Then,
I don't want to throw you under the bus, but I'm sitting there, I'm watching everybody because I have to make sure everyone's, not crossing the line, taking their masks off, don't do anything stupid, don't get, contaminated. And we had a soldier helping her out, and she's trying to get her foot out, and she finally gets out and yanks it, and sweat just splashes all over him.
But he was like,
And he turns around at me, and he looks at me, and he bites his lip and starts licking his lips. I'm like, dude,
that's fucking gross.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna say who, but yeah, I know the specific individual.
You can throw him under the bus. That's fine. That's just fucking
Without
gross.
saying his name, is he still in the unit? As far as you know, or has he been out?
No. I think honestly, back that time when you were in Carpenter, man, I think after I left, there was only like maybe me, Lunsford, Sergeant Moore. I think he just recently retired.
You know who else?
Rather was
left?
still in when I left.
The only people left, because we counted it up, it kind of dawned on us: me, Walker, Rather, Cooper, and
that's true. Yeah.
And there was one more person. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's it.
Oh yeah.
But,
private I'm sorry, not private. Specialist or Sergeant Alt?
Sergeant.
He was a specialist when I got out. He was a specialist when I got out.
Staff Sergeant Alt. Yeah, he got
I'm
promoted.
proud of him. He deserves it.
He got promoted. Pare just got promoted. He's Staff Sergeant.
Is he NCOIC of the Surf P? Well, I guess now they've been disbanded. But.
No,
it's not Surf P anymore.
Who is the Walker? I think Walker's the NCOIC.
Walker took it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. But
Johnny Walker.
And then I'm up for my sixes. Finally,
You need them.
Yes, I do.
I remember. And I don't want to change the subject. I remember when I had you, and I was the platoon sergeant, and.
Was this back Specialist Lunsford?
You were specialist, all right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember this and everything, because you came and talked to me. I'm like, dude, I fucked up. You're right, man. Because if I fucked up, I'll admit it. But I remember we had a lot of shit going on. I had so much on my plate, and I'm like handing out all this directives to all the specialists because I don't think we had many E5s at the time.
No,
E5s at the time.
It was literally you. As a platoon sergeant, Holly Horned was a staff sergeant, and Rather was a staff sergeant.
Yeah,
and no E5s.
Yeah, and of course they were dragging us to like 20 different directions. Like pissing into the wind. I'm like, okay, well I have to rely on my specialist. So I was like, okay, Aceves, and all these other. I need you to do these things, and then you came up to me, hey, Sergeant Danforth. I'm kind of like the senior specialist. Like, oh, fuck, you're right, and I completely spaced it. And I still feel shitty about that. I'm like, no, you're right. I need to fix it.
that was my introduction to leadership, really. Yeah. And that honestly, that was probably the best thing that ever happened to me was the fact that we only had 2 staff sergeants, no E5s, and then you were the NCOIC. So a lot of times, Rather ended up doing the platoon sergeant stuff because you got pulled away, and Rather would get pulled away to do platoon sergeant stuff. So it was just
I was basically acting for a sergeant. Then our E6 was a platoon sergeant. And our E5s were like
and then
not there. And our E4s were our squad leaders.
Holly Horned, she was just kind of stuck with everything. So like she relied on me a lot, and so that definitely taught me a lot about leadership. Because I ended up being over all the lower enlisted too, and so but yeah, it definitely was a good taste and helped set me up for success for my future. So yeah, that was good times back then. We had a good platoon back then too.
Oh, yeah, we did.
That was probably one of my favorite platoons that I was ever in. Just that group of people, because I mean, hell, we had me, you, Horned, Rather, Ace. Remember Gast?
Oh yeah.
He was fucking hilarious. He cracked my shit up. But yeah, we had a whole group of really good people.
Oh yeah, we did, and they covered each other's asses. I remember. In order to celebrate one of our exercises, we made a giant mud pit. I don't know if you remember. I think this was.
Oh yes, that was when they threw one of the lieutenants and the captain in the fucking mud pit.
Well, we've done that.
This is different. This is different.
Yeah, this is a different time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you talking about when we were in Ohio?
Yeah.
When we were in Ohio.
I'm talking about the one in Atterbury.
So I was in charge, right? I was, this was my exercise. We fucking did it. So awesome. Everybody made a huge fucking mud pit, because there's water everywhere, because that's what we deal with. We deal with a lot of fucking water. So everyone's just running and sliding, having a good time. And then I remember, I think it
was gassed.
It was gassed. And I think another person came up to me, blood all over themselves.
It was gassed and
there were
Hansen.
rocks hiding in there.
Did you
And they
say
were
Hansen?
cut. Yeah, they were cut up and down the forearms. I'm like,
I didn't
oh,
say that out
fuck.
loud.
Oh no, I'm in charge. I just hurt people because I'm fucking around. And I remember, he goes up, and I think Sergeant Major at the time came to talk to the soldier, and I'm not going to say who it was because he covered my ass. And he's like, "Oh no, Sergeant Major, I just fucked up my slip."
Yep. And that was the last time that we did any.
And we didn't do that anymore.
We haven't done a single one of those. Well, although last year we did. They did let us turn the Vis Queen into slip and slide, and we got first sergeant to go down it and the commander to go down it, and so like that, I was like, okay, it was something, because it was more. It started just piss and raining down, and all of us were just drenched, and finally we were like, fuck it, we can't. We have some time, let's slide. And so I got some really good videos, and I was surprised to see the first sergeant and the commander to go down it. That was well, it wasn't last year, it was the year before. It was Detril and Ebner. Were you there when they were there?
I was in CIC. I think that was my last exit.
Oh yeah, you remember that time.
I was in charge of it,
yeah. Did you go down it?
I think they threw what are those Gatorade coolers on me.
Oh yeah.
That was sticky. So that was
I got
awesome.
some fond memories of the Gatorades.
Yeah. So what is one thing that you miss about the military more than anything since you've retired?
Well, I mean, I don't want to say what everybody else keeps saying, but I mean, I do miss the people, the brotherhood. I mean, we have these stories right now. I mean, we could probably sit here and talk for hours from all the little
Oh hell yeah!
stuff we've done. I mean, I miss the people. I know a lot of people will say that, this unit sucks, or this unit, had this going on with it. But I mean, after being in a few units, I keep telling people, the grass is never greener on the other side.
100%.
Each unit's going to have something messed up with it. But the way the unit kind of operated, it seemed like we were able to do things, honestly, that I've never done with any other guard unit. I mean, I don't know of any other unit that goes to Eastern Europe like 2 to 3 times a year to go and train with live chemical nerve agents.
Yeah.
Or
that gets to train with like when Israel would come down, the Israelis came down. I mean, heck, we did a lot of training with the Israelis when they've came down to us, and we've went over there. Did you ever go to Israel?
No. Unfortunately, I think because I went to Slovakia like once or twice that year, so I wasn't able to go to that one.
Yeah, we've had so many opportunities in this unit, a lot more than a lot of traditional guardmen have, and so I've been pretty happy with what we had. But
I remember just in my field artillery unit, there was just nothing but going out to Atterbury, sleeping outside, and firing rounds for years, and then of course getting wet.
Yeah.
But this unit's like I have friends in Eastern Europe. I have friends from like Israel. I have friends from the Czech Republic. And heck, there's a few people from Russia, I still talk to, it's just, we were able to do things that nobody else really ever did. And,
what are you going to think too? How many people could actually say that kind of thing? You know what I mean? It's an experience all on its own.
Usually when that happens, it's like, oh, I'm getting shot at or I'm shooting somebody.
Right. It's not a moment to think back and be like, oh, I miss those days.
I remember, I think you were with us on this trip. Were you there when we went to Slovakia? Probably 2018, maybe.
Probably.
And it was, I think Commander Goalie was.
Oh yeah.
Was over it. Well, I remember we were on lockdown, and like for the first week, they didn't let us do anything. We didn't train. We didn't do nothing. And they were like, it was like 9 a.m. and they were like, you guys are released. You guys can do whatever you want. And we were like, okay. And so what we did was there was only one little tiny shop right down the street. And we went down there and we literally cleared out the shop with all their alcohol. And people were they even cleaned out the kegs. They got buckets and they filled the buckets up with the beer from the kegs.
I got this there. Yeah.
But they filled the buckets up with the beer from the kegs, and we brought it back to the barracks, and we started drinking at like 9 a.m. And then at like noon, everybody is, shit-faced to all be hell. And they were like, hey, you guys don't have to get in uniform, but we have a formation with the Czechs, the Slovaks, I think Hungary was it.
That. Because I was in the leaders meeting while everybody was out having fun, and I remember there was a soldier. Go ahead. I'll let you continue.
We get we were like, oh shit, we're drunk, and so we get into the formation, and all these different countries are there, and here's us just doing the little wobble, go back and forth. We're like, oh shit, nobody fall. And I remember that time, probably it was during that trip. We had a lot of liberty to drink, which
Right.
Army people love to drink.
Oh yeah.
And I remember
Known for being alcoholics.
your room, you were roomed with Detro and Cooper, I think, and
yep.
pretty much all the E7s, which
Yep.
was the adjacent room, like it was just on the other side of the wall of mine.
And done at the time.
Yeah. And I remember hearing you knock on the wall, and you're like, Lutzfer, come here. And I walk over there and I open up the door, and he's just standing bare ass naked doing the helicopter. That's all he wanted to do.
Yeah, I just wanted to show you what's going on. What do you think?
Different when the shoe's on the other foot, huh?
Yeah. But the difference is, I won't say the difference, but we'll just say
It won't do the helicopter.
not as well.
It gets burned into you.
Oh, not
More like a pinwheel.
I'll tell you, I've never. It's the only penis that's ingrained in my brain because I've seen it so many times. Every chance that he got, he'd walk around naked.
I was very secure with
He
my
can sketch it out
masculinity,
perfectly.
Do what?
I was very secure with my masculinity.
We
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I was gonna say the funny thing is I was the only one that actually had, I think, a French press, so I could make coffee.
Yeah,
and that, I don't know if you know about Eastern Europe, they really don't do coffee. It's just all instant crap.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck they do that.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it's just all Nesquik. So I had a huge thing of Folgers and a French press. So Sergeant Doan's guys and other people would come up to the room. Rather had like a little hot water heater. I'd make coffee, but I'm answering that dope pantsless. All right, so you want coffee?
You-
Come to the room and get some coffee.
Assume the position.
You hooked me up with some coffee during that trip. But I remember so Golden came over to drink with you guys one night, and I had like a 30-pack of Hell Energy drink, and he came over and he was like, "Hey, the guys next door wanted to know if they could have a couple of these for some chasers." I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And I went to bed. I wake up the next morning. It was a brand new 30-pack. There was one left. And I was like, what the fuck happened? And he was like, I don't know. And they ended up drinking all of my Hell Energy drink.
Damn. I've been pissed.
Yeah. But that's what alcohol does for you.
It does. It does
It
a lot.
does for you.
I
It
think that was
does- it
also
does a
the
lot for
trip
you.
where we were actually able to go down to downtown Bratislava for a few nights.
No, we went to Vienna.
Oh, that's right, Vienna.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Vienna was really, really nice.
Was
I
pretty-
never went on a trip where we went to Bratislava. It was like every time that I didn't go was whenever you guys went there. But I heard Bratislava was really cool.
Yeah, it was. It's weird going down those like alleys, little like middle of the night, and all you see are massage. Don't talk to us about massage. Talk to a person outside about Thai massage. No one talks about Thai massage. It's like so much information about this Thai massage. You kind of know what's going on. That one.
I remember I think you were with us. We went to this bar and it was all New York themed. Were you with us?
Yeah.
So we walk in
Crazy.
we walk in this bar and downtown wherever the fuck we were, not far from Lash. And it was New York themed but pre 9/11. So you just seen
Or was it
the
Vanka's?
No,
No?
it wasn't
Okay.
there. Because that was near
She loved us. She was awesome.
Zeminski Coastalani.
Coastline, yeah.
Yeah, so but this was near Lesh. But we went there and we walk in, they're like, "You from New York?" And we're like, "No, we're from Indiana." And they just kind of gave us a blank stare. We were like, "Okay, New York." They're like, "You're from New York. Drink for everybody." And so we start drinking, and foosball's a big thing there.
Oh, yeah.
So we started playing foosball and all that stuff. Well, then there was this one guy that he kept buying all of us drinks. He was like, "You come with me." And we're like, okay. The group of like 15 people, we go outside and we start walking and following him. He was like, it's right around the corner. Then we start going down like this dark alley. And we're like, maybe this is,
Somebody's
There's a
getting their
lot of
butt
dark
touched.
alleys out there.
Somebody's getting their butt
we're like,
touched.
maybe this isn't a good idea. And so we ended up, we finally found this pub and we went inside. And do you remember Cruel?
Yeah, no.
So he tells the guy, he was like, I like your shirt. And he was like, and he starts taking his shirt off and he hands it to Curl, and Curl takes his shirt off and hands it to him. He was like, I didn't know what to do. Well, we're there for like
I
45
remember
minutes.
this story.
Yeah, we're there for like 45 minutes and come to find out it was the first gay bar I'd ever been to. Yeah, we didn't even know it, but yeah, that was one of our.
So are they under the impression that all New Yorkers are fags? Then
apparently,
is that what they're getting at?
I guess.
Like, oh, you're from Indiana, you don't like dick?
Well, they liked him. They liked him.
But yeah, we had a lot of fun in Slovakia, on our exploits.
I remember the strip club. Am I allowed to talk about the strip club?
You can talk about whatever the hell you want.
Well, it was a let's just say it's different than here. It almost feels like you're going to a used car dealership. You know, you go into, of course, the dark alley. You know, and then you go down the steps. You know, down under the undercity of Bratislava, and you're there. And it's just a $20 cover fee. Yeah, unlimited. You know, whatever. You know, rum. You know, vodka, whatever you choose. You know, fountain. And we're sitting there. We're having a good time. You know, there's not really many people. You know, there, and all of a sudden, the rest of the unit decided they wanted to go to the same place. And started filling up the whole place pretty quick. And I remember one of our soldiers, brother, he's talking to one of the ladies, and he's like, well, I just, I really would like for you to dance for us, and she's just trying to get us to buy her drinks. But there's so many people, nobody's dancing. And he's just getting upset. He's like, I'm here, I paid money, I want a show. What do you need? I'm not going to buy you these drinks. $20. $20? Oh, you're not dancing? I'll give you my $20 back. Oh, you want? Oh, yeah? Taking it back. Yeah? What are you going to do here? And they're just bring out these like booklets in order to buy your ladies drinks because they want you to think that you might get something. But these drinks are like $300, $400, $500, $1,000, a $10,000 drink, like euros at the time. Like we just, I think at that time, me and Rather were like, okay, I'm going to get a drink, we're out. And then we just walked out. Yep. But I do remember as we left, though, there was a soldier from another unit who ran out of one of the back rooms completely naked.
Oh, man.
And he said, oh, my God, I don't have any money. I don't have any money. I don't have any money. And I'm looking at him. And I look over to the side, and I see one of that unit's lieutenants there. I'm like, okay, cool. This is your problem. I'm walking out. And come to find out, of course, he blew all of his money in some backroom activities. And, let's just say he didn't have a good time because the lieutenant had to cover him.
Well, I'm just taking a wild guess. He was lower enlisted?
Yeah. E2, probably.
Not our unit.
E2, I'm guessing.
Yeah. It sounded like a E4 or below kind of problem.
That sounds like an E2 problem. Yeah. All day long.
E1, E2.
Yeah.
But
E1s don't have enough courage to do that shit.
No.
They're still feeling out their fucking territories.
Maybe an E3. Yeah. Someone that has a little bit of time.
Well, it could have been an E4 because they have no fucks to give.
Yeah, that is true.
E4 mafia.
A lot of drinking, and here's all my money. Whatever.
Right. Most alcoholics in the unit are fucking E4s. So
you remember the time when one of our guys decided they wanted to flood the entire second floor of a hotel room?
Yep, and that was the last time I stayed in the whole entire
hotels.
Yep. Just for anybody that's watching, not all of the Army is fuck ups, but a lot of them are.
And 85%. 85%.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
Zero regrets about being in that unit.
It's honestly, it was the best impromptu decision I ever made was to join the military. Mm-hmm. I never had any thoughts of doing it before. It just kind of happened.
I joined on a fucking whim. I remember, not to get into too much of a backstory, but I was with a buddy of mine who passed away recently. God rest his soul. But him and I were just hanging out at his house before work one morning, and he was like, "Hey, you ever think about joining the Army?" And I was like, "No." He said, "You wanna?" I said, "Fuck it, let's do it." So I called my boss. Then I said, "I'm going to be late to work today." And he was like, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm going to go join the Army." And he thought I was bullshitting him. So him and I packed our shit up and went to the recruiter's office. And we were like, "Hey, we're here to join the Army." And the recruiter was like, "Okay." And he started to spiel, trying to sell me on all the shit. And I was like, I don't need this. I was like, I'm here to enlist. I don't need you to sell me on the shit. Just fucking whatever I got to do, paperwork, whatever. He was like, "Well, you got to take the ASVAB." I said, "Okay." So I took it. I don't fucking remember what score I got, but probably low since I was chemical. But I remember
be kind of smart for chemical.
Yeah.
You have to know how to go
you have
up
to
and
get
down
like
with
an
those
80.
washers.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You have to know how to use a hose.
You have to get like an 80 on the ASVAB.
12. But anyway, I remember after I got done talking to the recruiter, signed the contract, the whole 9 yards, everything was said and done. I'm standing out in the fucking hallway, feeling like $1 million. Like, I just fucking enlisted in the Army. I'm ready to go. And he comes walking out from talking to his recruiter, and he's got his head down. And I said, "Hey, buddy, we're in the fucking Army now. We're high speed." And he was like, "Nah." He was like, "You're in the Army." I said, "Fuck, you talking about?" And he goes, "I decided I didn't want to do it." I was like, "You motherfucker!"
You buddy,
I mean,
fucker.
yeah,
He blue
he
falconed
did, he
you
did.
before you could get
He
blue
did. He
falconed
blue
by the
falconed the fuck
military.
out of me.
He got,
And I was like, "You
done.
cocksucker!" And I was like, "Whatever, I don't care. I'm down for this shit." And I toughed it out, and it was the best thing I ever did in my life.
Yeah, I'm really lucky. I didn't always feel like I was lucky because I didn't always like the Army, especially in the early years, especially during a period of time that I'm sure you pretty well remember.
And you know what? I think we all kind of go through those phases.
The only time I didn't like the Army was during red phase.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
That's about the only time I didn't like.
You
the
realize
Army.
what the word smoking means.
Yeah.
Literally
It's
smoking.
not what you thought.
The only time that I didn't really like the Army was whenever we had all the fucked up shit going on in the unit. Whenever the AG came down and fired everybody,
Oh,
that
God,
was
surprised I still was there. I mean,
you were the walking EO complaint.
I kind of operate on the who framed Roger Rabbit approach. I'll make them laugh, and I might get away with some shit.
No, we had some good times. So what is one thing like as far as leadership, as far as encouragement to somebody that's wanting to get started on a fitness journey? What's some good advice that you would give somebody that's just starting out?
Oh man, that's kind of a loaded question because it's not easy. I mean, you guys know that. How many times have you talked to people, or even I probably have talked to you guys? Like, fucking do some PT, go work out.
Yeah.
It's kind of a loaded question, but the best advice I could probably give people is when you go to the gym, remember there's like 3 types of people there. You got the people who are perfecting themselves. Those are like your bodybuilders. Your guys who want to get ripped. They have a plan. Or the people who are on the treadmill. They've got a marathon. They're trying to get their times. They're perfecting themselves. And you have the people like us right now who are bettering themselves. And that's just great. You're trying to make gains. You want to try to maintain your fitness. You're trying to live your life to where if anything were to happen physically, you don't have to worry about your health physically stopping you from recovering.
Yeah.
And then you don't want to be the third type of person, and that's the people who are kidding themselves. Those are the people you go to the gym, you see them for like a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month, and then they're gone. You don't see them again.
Or the people that show up and spend 90% of the time on their phones, hogging all the fucking equipment.
Well, I've been guilty on that every once in a while, but
I like to go up to them and be like, "Hey, how many texts you got left?" Instead of sets, and they would like look at you like, "What?"
Yeah, I found that depending on the gym you go to, that's what you're gonna kind of get. Like if you go to an LA Fitness, you're gonna get those people on the phones. You got the people like with their tripod looking at themselves. Then you have the people who just want to talk. It's like a social gathering. Then you have the people who go to like the Planet Fitness, and that's the one I'm at right now. And it's just full of people who are just trying to better themselves. And it's a cheap option, and I recommend that to anybody who's starting, honestly, is go to a Planet Fitness. And I don't know if you guys are sponsored or anything, but
No, we're not.
for a very low price, you get in, and everybody's kind of on that same plane. You'll get those people depending on the time of day,
Right.
that are probably in that, maybe trying to perfect themselves phase, but they're not going to be on the phone as much. They're not going to be jawed, jacking as much. But you'll get your gym rats. That's gonna happen no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I think when it comes down to like the one thing I kind of recommend to people is the motivation. And that can be the hard thing, honestly, because if 6-pack abs were easy, everybody'd be fucking cut having 6-pack abs.
I know I
Everybody'd be
would.
running marathons. Everybody would be fucking getting that triangular shape. I mean, I can give advice just like you guys can on specific exercises to get what kind of maybe a goal you want. But it's trying to maintain that motivation, each and every day, And if you can at least do it every day and just force yourself out there to do 30 minutes on a treadmill to get that cardiovascular gain, which I know everybody doesn't like cardio. The hardest part about running is the running part, the start of the run itself.
Yeah.
But I think everybody has that cruise control gear. It doesn't matter if it's a 10-minute mile, a 20-minute mile, a slow jog, whatever. Just get out there, do that 30 minutes to get that cardiovascular gain. And I think if you can just knock that out, 2 to 3 times a week, just starting out for 2 to 3 weeks until you get that
habit.
And the habit. That's the hard thing. That's what
Right.
I find is the hardest thing, honestly, for a lot of new people is just getting that habit. And especially if you're going there alone, it can be hard. And you guys, I know I see videos of you guys. It seems like you guys tend to work out together a lot, right?
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. 4 days a week.
That's amazing. Like right there, you guys are each other's support.
And I'll tell you, he's the first one to call me out. Like, why the fuck aren't you going to the gym? Sounds like you're being a bitch. Like he's
Thank you.
Like
That's our number one rule. Actually, our number one rule is don't be a bitch.
Don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, like the only one you're fighting for yourself, and if you bitch out on yourself, you're the only one that's going to suffer. He's not going to suffer if I don't go to the gym. I'm going to suffer if I don't go to the gym.
And don't make up excuses either. Like the number one excuse I
It's
tend to
so
run-
easy to do that.
Yeah, the number one excuse I tend to run into is, oh man, work was so hard. I walked
Yeah, I'm tired.
10 miles today. Or, oh man, my job is so physical. I worked out. No, I don't know of a job that's going to give you the amount of exertion as, throwing
No.
some weights and just, and throwing some
Right.
iron on the bench.
That's-
press or something.
At the risk of sounding cliche as fuck, because we all hate cliches.
Yeah,
is
everyone's said it. We're not saying
I look at
anything
it. I look at it as just try to be better than the person you were yesterday.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Well, and like a big thing is a lot of people they say I don't have time, but what kind of changed for us is we look at going to the gym as a non-negotiable, just like going to work.
Mhm.
It's
if
like
you don't
putting
go,
on your fucking pants before you would walk out the door,
you have to. Like it's
especially if you live near a school.
It's not
Yeah.
a choice for us anymore. And I
Yeah.
wish I would have gotten my mind like that a long time ago. But over the past year and a half, 2 years, it's really, without sounding cheesy, it's really changed my life a lot. And
It does.
You would be surprised the amount of changes in the rest of your life that happen whenever you get your physical part of it right. Because I mean, I've made leaps and bounds just in my professional life, my personal life,
Yeah.
since we've been going to the gym.
I mean, you feel like $1 million. I mean, technically you feel shitty, doing it, but you feel like $1 million, and you'd be surprised like what you can do or what motivates you to do something more that you probably didn't have before.
Yeah.
Yep. And we were actually talking about that in the gym. You said it makes you feel shitty, but like going to the gym is one of those weird moments where you put yourself through hell and you feel like shit the whole time you're doing it, but you enjoy it. It's the only time you'll ever kick your own ass and like it. You know what I mean? So there's no other time in life where I'd be doing anything and just be fucking exhausted, out of breath, sweating, sore, fucking hungry, thirsty, the whole 9 yards, tired, everything all at once, and be like, I like this. There's no other time.
And if you wake up the next day and you're not sore, you did something wrong.
Yeah.
You should be in consistent, well, not massive pain, but you should feel it each time.
Yeah, you should be able to tell that you worked your chest. Or
You don't have to.
something.
Yeah, you don't have to be like unbearably sore where you can't move, because soreness is not a good measure of how well your workout was. But you should feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should
Well-
at least feel something.
One thing that so like I find it, especially here recently, it's hard because the scale doesn't tell me a good it's not a good determination on my
Never look at the
progress.
scale. Never
Well,
look at it.
used to, whenever I was 235, that scale was a good measurement for me losing weight. But now I've lost the weight and I'm trying to gain weight or gain mass. But one thing that it's just hard to map my progress a lot of time. But one thing that kind of it was more like it made me feel like, okay, I'm doing something. People can see that I'm doing something. Was this we just had drill this past weekend, and I had 2 people come up to me and they were like, hey, I was just wondering, could you give me some like pointers on like some exercises that might work out this or work out that? I was like, nobody's ever asked
You're
me to
doing
do any of that.
right, buddy.
Nobody ever thought this guy knows something about fitness. And so that, like, I was like, hey, like,
Makes you feel good, doesn't it?
yeah, they're noticing
It's
something.
awesome.
So
It's
like,
awesome.
that really,
The thing that sucks about working out is it just takes fucking time to notice results. And even then,
yeah.
you won't even notice the results because you see
Yeah.
yourself every fucking day in the mirror naked. You're like, motherfucking fat ass. What the fuck? I need to do some more sit-ups. Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ. I need to do this.
That's why it's always nice to take pictures, every 6
Yes.
months, every
Yes.
3 months if you want, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to really know. I mean, you'll feel better almost immediately, right? You'll feel like, oh man, I feel like I have a little bit more energy. Oh, I feel like I can probably run a little bit more. I feel like I can throw this weight around a little bit more. But you won't really notice the physical changes for a few months sometimes.
Right.
I
I remember waking up in the military when I was still in the military. Every morning we'd get up early as fuck in the morning and do our PT, and then we'd come back to the barracks and shower, and then go eat chow. Every morning I would sit there while I'm eating chow and think, I feel fucking great. Like I feel amazing after doing PT every morning. And then when I got out of the military and I was just a fucking piece of shit civilian, not working out at first, I was reminiscing on those days, and I was like, man, I miss those days of feeling good, at 5 o'clock in the morning, feeling like $1 million. And that's what got me started in the gym partially. But
yeah.
I definitely still miss those fucking days. As
don't
you get
know if I
older,
really-
as
I
you
don't
get
know
older,
if I-
that diminishes a little bit. But
I don't know if I miss waking up at like 5 in the morning, the freezing
No.
cold, wearing military.
I don't miss
like,
that.
like PT uniforms where the wind just blows
Yeah.
through you and you're like freezing. Like, I guess you're running 2 miles.
don't miss that. But I do miss the after effects. So, sitting there
Oh,
eating
yeah.
chow with your buddies and feeling good from getting a fucking good workout in for the morning.
Liquid
See,
eggs never tasted
No.
so good.
see, I'm the opposite. I hate Army PT with a passion. Like, and the hard thing for me is most of my experience with fitness was Army PT, and so I like in my mind I was like, the only way I'm going to lose weight if I go out there and run 2 miles. Only way I'm going to build up my arms if I go and do a million push-ups and all that stuff. And I just found it so boring and so daunting until I was introduced to lifting this, with him. And I love to lift. I'm not super strong, but I enjoy that. And I've seen more progress during that.
But you have to admit you're stronger than most people your age.
Maybe I don't know how most people my age are. So like maybe
if you take the
I'm
average-
a 42-year-old old man now. So
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now that both of you are a lot stronger than most of the people out there right now.
well,
I don't want to toot my own horn, but I know that I am stronger than most people my age. But if you take the average 35-year-old, maybe you're 36, 35, what?
36.
36. If you take the average 36-year-old male
Gonna be a little squishy.
and you put him next to you, yeah, exactly. You put him next to you, he's not going to be nearly as strong as you are, guaranteed,
Well,
hands down.
I still got a goal that I'm working towards, and then whenever I get that, I'm sure I'll have another goal that I'll reach, or I'll start shooting
Just
for.
never
but
stop stopping, or never stop,
Exactly.
never stopping. Yeah, yeah.
Never stop stopping.
Never start stopping.
Yeah, never
Yeah,
stop.
thank you.
Just never stop.
Just never
Yeah,
fucking
be
quit.
consistent until
That's right.
it's just ingrained.
One thing that we are getting, we haven't started yet, but we have a goal that we're going to do our first 5K this year, and so I've never done a 5K.
I don't
I don't
fucking-
want to make you feel bad. My little girl just did her first 5K.
Oh, that's
Okay,
really awesome.
so I am not sure if you could tell. That makes me feel great. I'm not sure if you can tell by looking at me, but this frame does not run. I don't. 290 pounds is a lot to fucking push around while you're running. So it's going to take a lot of training for me. I'm on my cut.
Imagine all the muscular gain you're going to get from running with that weight. You know,
Yeah,
You're
right.
No leg days. Your legs are already
Yeah.
toast.
Yeah, I'm gonna have massive Ronnie Coleman calves by the end of the fucking workout.
He does do cardio with us sometimes. We started introducing the bike and the rowing machine and all that stuff.
The battle ropes.
Yep, the battle ropes.
Good,
fucking
good.
suck.
Fucking
I
love
hate
battle ropes.
He
Oh,
loves
them.
battle ropes. I hate him.
Dude, they're it's like jerk off material for me. I fucking love battle ropes.
We have
We got
have
the
this,
strength for it. So it's like, I got some endurance for this shit. Let's keep going.
We have this.
I just like the way it makes me feel. Like it just tears my ass up because my stamina sucks. Like I'm strong, but my stamina sucks. You know what I mean? So that battle ropes, we do hit training with it. It's 30 seconds as fucking hard as you can fucking go, and then you rest for 30 seconds, and you just keep doing that back and forth for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Dude, well, we start 5, but that fucking just tears my ass up. And after just, 2 iterations of that, I'm fucking on the floor, sweating my ass off, winded, just, I'm going to try to catch my breath, but I love it.
Yeah,
So
you have
we
to be
have-
careful with that hit training. I know we just, praised Sergeant Leach, newly promoted. I remember before he joined the military, I kind of helped him get in. He decided he wanted to work out with me. Well, working out with me is not easy for most. So let's do some hit training. Let's do some abs. I think the first iteration, maybe about 2 minutes in, he ended up blacking out. And I kind of realized, okay, I should probably tone it down a little bit. My bad.
Yeah.
So with the battle ropes, we have this this lady that works out with us. Her name's Kaylin Worland, and she's not a very big lady at all, but she
Smokes my ass.
She makes us look like the biggest bitches whenever it comes to that battle rope, because all she does is like,
Yeah, everything she does is cardio.
yeah, she runs
It's like you.
She runs like 10 miles a day
Crazy.
and does all this stuff. Yeah, it just
Dude, I'm sure what do you weigh right now, roughly?
I have about 200.
Okay,
I'm actually in this phase where I'm trying to gain weight, but I'm still doing cardio because I'm trying to get a more of a cut triangular shape.
yeah.
But like I said, I'm not trying to get all ripped up 8-pack. I just want to look good. Yeah, I want to be strong still.
I'm more of the figure 8 right now. I'm just big top, big bottom.
But he's strong as an ox. He almost put up 405 the other day.
Yeah, that's my goal. My goal on bench this year is to hit 405.
He was almost.
You know what I always say about that kind of stuff is you're a fucking workhorse, not a show horse. All right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm there to put up the weight, not show off.
My goal is 315. I got 295 the other day, and I can't quite get the 315. But by the end of the year, that's
You'll get it. You'll get it. You're on the fast track. You'll get there.
See,
Guaranteed.
my plan is the Zombieland plan. I don't know if you know. Rule number 1, cardio. Rule number 2, more cardio, and then of course double tap and all this fun things.
Yeah. My goal is just to be stronger than the guy next to me. That way, if the zombie apocalypse happens, I know that I'm safe.
Your goal is to be.
I'm just gonna keep running.
Your goal is to be faster than the guy
around
that
me. Yeah, so I'm
See ya,
fucked in that
bitches.
case. But
Good luck.
I want to be somewhere in between you guys. Like I don't.
you want to be the penis in between us?
I mean, we can do that now.
Yeah, I was gonna
You
say
know.
we can turn this camera off and make this happen.
This could
Or
turn
we just
into a
leave the camera on. Who cares?
different kind of video, couldn't it?
Fuck it, leave the camera on.
I'm
not shy.
I think the audience would appreciate it.
What if we shut it off?
No, turn it off.
Because I was gonna say when
Let's
these
see some
clothes come off, the
gains.
audience does not want to see that.
The thing
Some
is,
of the
Dan,
gains.
the thing is, Danforth, I know you. I won't walk out of here with the same skip I walked in with.
It's
That's
already
the
ingrained
problem.
in your memory. It's nothing
Yeah.
new.
It is. Oh my gosh.
He could provide detailed sketches.
It was
Fucking
like a
sketch artist.
baby arm.
Holding a pumpkin, not an apple.
What I'm out right now. No sharp.
But no. So to end things, do you have any good words of wisdom or just overall wisdom for whether we're talking about working out or leadership in general?
Oh man, the best thing I could probably tell people is it's not going to be easy. Stay motivated and focus on the things that you want. If you want to trim down, do some more, set up some more cardio. If you want to get stronger, throw those weights around. And don't make up excuses. Honestly, that's the main thing is and maintain a positive, forward-thinking attitude, because
That's right.
attitude, it's all attitude. Walk in that gym thinking that you're the shit, and no one's here to fucking dethrone you.
That's right.
And
The
even if it's fake it till you make it.
Hey, you could be the hero of your own story.
And the biggest thing, a lot of people they're worried that
Hello, wife.
hello.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki.
Oh, she's in the gym herself.
She probably doesn't remember me.
It's
It's been 20 fucking years. It's been 20 years since I've seen her.
remember Cup. Yeah, I guess she remembers you.
Oh well, I'll be damned. Yeah.
But no, one thing that I think that a lot of people worry about is that people are going to judge them when they go in the gym. I know that I had the first time jitters going and walking up to the gym and seeing all these massive muscly guys and thinking I'm going to look like an idiot when I walk in there. And I've come to find out, and we say it a lot, that nobody gives a shit what you're doing.
Fucks what you're doing.
Like
Put yourself in one of those 3 categories. You're not
Yeah.
there to perfect yourself right now. You're there to better yourself, and do not kick yourself.
Yeah.
don't be the third guy, please.
Don't be the kidding yourself guy.
Yeah.
And you'll be just fine. Just keep going. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
Don't be the guy that shows up doing backflips on the fucking the cable flies. You know,
In 3 weeks, those guys who intimidate just want to fucking talk to you to the point where you're like, "Fuck, stop talking to me."
dude, we have a guy in our gym named Nathan. He's the biggest motherfucker in the gym. At least in the time frame that him
Every
and
gym
I
has
go,
those.
he's the biggest motherfucker there. But he's also one of the nicest fucking guys you'd ever meet. You know,
we've learned so much.
he's there to help everybody. He'll give you the best pointers. He'll give you any kind of advice. There's been a couple times where I was putting up some heavy fucking weight and he couldn't spot me, and I'd just run over and be like, "Hey Nathan, you know, give me a spot real quick." "Oh yeah, sure, buddy, no fucking problem." He's one of the nicest guys you'd ever meet.
Oh
And-
yeah.
Well, the thing is we've learned so much just from those big guys that were intimidating when we first got there. We found out they're some of the nicest people, and they've been more than willing to help us, and we've learned a lot, fixed our form on a lot of things, and it's really made a big difference in us. And
In
so,
all honesty, those are the best people to talk to because they would love to give you their opinion.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah. They've
yeah.
been doing it for so many years. They got the most advice.
Like, let me tell you the
And
way to get a
if-
fucking huge chest.
Had I come across Nathan the very first day I stepped into that gym, there's no way in hell I would have approached him. There's no way in hell I'd have walked into that weight room. I'd have been like, this guy's gonna fucking make fun of me.
well, he's like 6'6" and 300 pounds.
Yeah, he's a
about
big ass
muscle.
dude.
Like, he's a big
I
dude.
mean, I would have looked at him and been like, this dude's gonna think I'm a dipshit. But that's actually the farthest thing from the truth. So you know, everybody who thinks that they're gonna walk in there not knowing what they're doing and look stupid, that's not the case because
Yeah,
nobody
everybody
cares.
even
Nobody's
has
watching you.
insecurities. You know?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Nobody's watching you, and if anybody is watching you, it's just to make sure you're doing something safe. Because there's been a lot of times I've walked in the gym and seen somebody doing a workout, and I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna get that, and I'll watch them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
So-
like, oh, you're gonna hurt yourself. Don't be
Mhm.
the guy on the cable doing the golf swing, thinking that you're gonna improve your fucking golf. Don't do that. Don't be that guy.
Got the dumbbells doing this number.
Well, the biggest thing is you'd be surprised how little other people think about you.
There was a guy.
They don't care.
We're worried about our own story. We're the main character of our story,
Yep.
and that's mostly what's on our mind is trying to do better for ourselves, not what everybody else is doing.
Everybody is in the gym for the same purpose for the most part. You know, to become a better version of themselves. That's it.
But, well, I really appreciate you being on the podcast.
Dude,
And
this is amazing. Oh, and I
Fuck
don't
yeah, it's good to see you again.
And I
Man.
don't want to stop you here, but dude, I am so proud of you guys. Like,
Thank you.
as
Thank
like
you.
your former squad leader / platoon sergeant / acting first sergeant, like dude,
slash
like,
mentor.
/ army boyfriend.
that
Hey,
too.
Hey, and
I
seriously,
mean,
slash mentor too.
No, slash-
We've learned a lot from you.
Flash
We
door,
really.
yeah. But I mean, I see your guys' stuff on Facebook, all the time, from the movie that you guys created, to this podcast, to like all of your gains and all the positive things that you guys are putting out there, and you're helping so many
That's the
people. out
goal.
right now.
That's the goal.
I mean, I've got someone right now 'cause I deliver stuff to a Walmart. Her name's Amy. She's been watching your guys' podcast,
Oh, that's awesome.
Sweet.
regularly. And I think you guys probably shout her out once or so twice. And she's told me about it, and she herself is she's trying to get fit, and you guys are motivating people out there, hundreds of people. I'm not too sure what your viewers are right now, but
We're
Well, Amy, if you're watching this, Amy, thank you for your
thank
support.
you.
We appreciate you very
she
much.
loves you guys. But I mean, you guys are doing amazing things, and keep it up.
Thank you so
and if
much.
you ever
Definitely.
have any dare and you want to talk about stupid stuff again, I'm here for you.
Well, there definitely is going to have to come a time where the three of us get together at the armory
Oh, talking about
gym
that.
and have a workout together.
So,
for
so
sure.
here's something that we've been talking about doing. We got a couple guys from the unit that want to come out. Parade chef and Rainbow. He had said that he'd come out, and then with the girl that works out with us two, and then if you want to come out, we thought about putting together. Oh, my brother, he was a prior Marine. We thought about putting together another strongman competition for the fat man. project, and like dividing up on teams and just doing something fun like that. So we are inviting you to come and be a part of that if you'd be interested in it. And let's see how many.
Give me a date and time. I'm here
sure.
for you guys.
Let's see how many
Anytime you need.
how many reps on the bench press you can do this
I'm
time.
getting older. Maybe about 80 to 90 this time.
All right. Wait, you might win. Just to let you know.
I'm
But,
getting heavier though, so I don't know.
But no, I think that'd be a lot of fun, and we really appreciate your support. You know, we're about a little over 6,000 followers on TikTok so far, and we're growing on our Facebook, and we have the YouTube channel where our full episodes air
Every Friday
at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But to everybody who's watching, if you have a fitness story, or if you're a trainer, or if you have something that you would like to share with the Fatmen community, please reach out to us. You can find us on TikTok, on YouTube, or on our Facebook page. And then we also have the community page, which is for you guys. We have a lot of good information on there. It's where you guys can interact with one another. And if you have anything that you would like to share throughout your week, or about your gains, or a positive story or struggle, please feel free to post it on there and reach out to us. We would love to share your stories. At the end of the day, that's what this is all about. Is we want to provide something that is positive, and in a world that's filled with so much negative, we want to provide something positive and motivating to help you guys, because we know we are the original Fat Men.
Yep.
And so at the end of the day, we just want to do something that we didn't have. A lot of times we didn't have for ourselves, so we want to be able to provide this opportunity and this platform for you guys. So thank you all for watching, and thank you, Sergeant First Class Anthony Danforth, for being on the Fatmen podcast.
It was a pleasure.
we appreciate you.
We've had such a
appreciate
fun
you
time.
guys
It's
too.
Slow clap for Danforth.
Do I need to take my pants
Yes.
off now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why are they on now? Because that's stupid.
I was under the impression you had no
Odd.
pants on this whole time. But no, thank you for being on the podcast. It's been
Definitely,
a joy, and I really enjoyed catching up with you. I've missed you.
I miss you
man.
guys too.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen you, so it's nice to catch up with you again.
Yeah,
So
I love
we'll-
you guys.
We'll get together soon. Love you too, man.
Love you
And,
too, brother.
But I'm Mitch.
And I'm Dustin, and this has been the Fat Man Podcast.
Don't be a bitch.
Don't be a bitch.
Don't be a